one battle after another. Hear me out. Kind of a horror movie. Obviously, for the obvious reasons, we're going to be able to make that correlation, right? The racism, the darkness of the subjects, how cruel and evil it all actually is. Of course, it's actually horrifying, right? The execution, the stress that goes along with the situation is the constant, I might not live today, which is what black people, women, people of color, disabled people, gay people, all already, and children. Don't be a child by all means. One thing you shouldn't do is fucking be a child, because let me tell you, this this is not for you. The world's not for you. You are a dollar bill, a body, and a thing to be abused for the amusement of grown white men, grown white rich men, and then it extends through all the other oppressions we have. So it'll extend to even black men when it comes to children. You don't matter. Children, kids, don't matter. And don't be a girl and a kid. Don't be disabled and be a kid and a girl. Don't have mental health issues and be a girl and black and a kid. A kid? You exist? Crazy. Anyway. But yeah, child oppression is the worst, and it involves all those other systems that are really bad. But like, we don't really yell about how being a child is just like the worst thing ever, and the most traumatic thing ever, and the most layered and intentional and continuous way. But one after another, to get back to the movie, being a horror movie, because that's one of the themes too. The child, her whole arc is abhorrent, terrible. Not because of the other things that we were saying, but like when it comes to the regards of her parents were revolutionaries and were fighting the system. By the way, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen one after another. If you haven't seen it, I would say one battle after another. Watch it before you watch this. Sorry, I should have done a spoiler alert. I'll probably put that in the title. Spoiler alert. But anyway, it's a horror movie because you know everything about the world. Your parents are revolutionaries. They know everything about the world, and they're actively trying to actually fight this stuff. Then you have to juggle like real life, and we didn't even really see that aspect of like her trying to do that. Like, she had one scene where that happened, but it's like it's a fucking horror movie because the people that care and are real like revolutionaries and want to liberate everything, right? We are forced to not do anything or a lot, or like just know we're gonna die. And then on top of that, we already know we're gonna die for, like I said, the oppressions that we live under, the way we walk around and how to be prepped to die. It's just nobody cares enough. We don't care enough about any of the oppression for being a revolutionary to be successful or to be the thing to actively choose to do. It's legit just like, yeah. And then you have, and this is why, again, I would never have a kid. On top of the fact that, like, I just don't think it makes sense. For me, it makes sense if you know everything about the world, right, and the way that it is run and what's going to happen. I just never scientifically or emotionally thought that was something that I could ever do by choice, because I didn't also want to be here. I didn't choose to be here. I would have never chosen that, and I can't force that on somebody else. It's like a whole thing, like with body autonomy, that's really insane that I've always felt that way. So I can't ever force somebody here without being able to talk to them or ask them, especially with how I feel about existing still and have every day since forever. So, But the reason why I'm saying one better after another is a horror movie and correlating that to the kid thing is because they ended up having a kid and like their lives were the same. They didn't change. They couldn't just not be revolutionary anymore. But it's like, why would you not want to only be that? But I understand why other people wouldn't want to be that. But it's like, if you actually know and care, like the risk of like how we live, or just accepting it, right? You're either accepting the indoctrination and you're like, whatever, we'll make what we can make, or you are so appalled by everything that you make it a stance to somewhat be fighting this at all times and then like do what you can to progress for liberation. But it's like, having a child within all that is automatically gonna like hurt you more and change your mindset and like alter what you can do and how you're gonna move and how you're gonna want to move, because now at this point you have this child and you want your kid to live. You want your kid to be good. You want your kid to be an active part of knowing these things are problems, and like there's just so much, like it's horrific to view it that way, in my eyes. And that was like a lot of like what the movie was about. And I don't know if I've seen a lot of movies that are diving into that exact like sentiment, like the idea of, because of you're so anti, it endangers everybody around you, and now you have this kid that you have to make sure is going to live, because like, what the fuck, that's my fucking child. What do you mean? But no, she's not gonna like be just like traumatized by people in front of me. I'm not gonna be nice to people around her. I don't trust any of them. Like, I want the best for her, but we also still gotta like fight this shit or like die. And then if we don't die, it's like we're not really living. I don't know. Like, just that movie from someone that has the mindset that I do, which is like very correlated with like that. And I still have my issues with the movie. But overall, like it's just the dynamic of that, and like thinking about that, and like the intricacies of all of that is just a lot. It's a phenomenal movie, by the way, in general. By the way, I'm not saying it's just horror. It's definitely like a high drama, I'd say, social commentary going on. And it's actually naturally funny too. It's really good with the natural comedy. And I don't think the movie ever tries to like uplift a certain person as a actor. They like kind of, everybody has their own time to shine. They have their own characters. They kind of mix well, but it's like not about a person. It's about like revolutionaryism, essentially, and fighting the system, and like the different things that go along with that, and the intricacies of all that, and how hard it is, and like it's more about that than it is about like making an actor and a character that's important, which I really appreciated. But all the characters are likable and good, and you were like emotionally involved, and you understood like their plight and what was going on. And there's a lot of complexities and layers to characters that happen. From how they act and the choices they make, and like how they're perceived within the movement. And it's just really refreshing. I might need to watch more revolutionary movies, maybe. Maybe I haven't seen enough. I know, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of that from how it's already been like that in One Piece, but from the Revolutionary Army in One Piece, whenever I see more from them. No spoilers in the comments, please, because I'm behind on One Piece, so do not say anything. I'm very early in the show.